Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a new template that I have. This is template 21 and this is what the shape looks like. Let me just grab one. And I really like this one when arranged around an octagon. I think it kind of looks like a wreath, but this is one of my favorites. I actually have a lot of template or petal shapes that I haven't released yet, and I'm kind of getting around to doing those, but this is one of my favorites to do. I'm going to go over a few basics to start. I get a lot of questions about, I get a lot of common questions, and so I'd like to address those before I move on. I use 65-pound cardstock, or 176 grams per square meter. If you can get paper around that weight, that was great. This is just the paper that I like to use. Any thicker paper might be a little bit more difficult to work with. So you can use any type of cardstock that you have on hand. It's just different weights might have slightly different results. But I have a 6.5 inch wide octagon. And for these petals, I have 4 layers that I'll be using today. And this is a 5 inch wide petal, 4.5, 4, and then 3.5. I like to go by 1/2 inch with increments. That's just how I make my templates, but if you are just mimicking the petal shape, you can use whatever size you like. And as far as tools go, today I won't be using any, I won't be curling the petals or doing anything to them, so all I need was a pair of scissors and a glue gun with glue sticks. And so to start, what I need to do is I'd like to make a cut into the petals. If you watch my videos, this is just the same thing that I do usually. You just make a slit. And I want the petals to lay a little bit more flat, so I will be cutting them a little bit longer than I normally do for the size, but I usually start with, this is about 1.25 inches, and then I just sort of increase with the petal layers going up. I usually add just a slight longer slit for each layer, each subsequent layer, and I don't measure, only because they all come out fine anyway. But if you'd like to measure, you can increase it by, you can start with about 1 inch or 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches, and then just add a little bit to each subsequent petal. So those are all my petals cut with a slit, and the next thing I do is just glue the slits together, or the flaps from the slit. So I just glue them together like that, and it's really simple. Just glue them together. I want the petal to lay flatter, so I am gluing the flaps a little bit closer together. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I am using an octagon. So this is a 6.5 inch wide octagon, so for each layer I have 8 petals. I often use hexagons, and so for hexagons I have 6 petals per layer. Today I have 8. I was wondering to myself how come I had so many petals, but then I realized I was making it with an octagon. Alright, and these are all the layers, all the petals for each layer glued together, and I just need to assemble the flower. So for my first layer, it's very easy. I would just glue them along this octagon. So I just add a little bit of glue to the bottom. I'm gluing them about 1 inch into the octagon itself, the base. Okay, so that's my first layer. And then for my second layer, what I want to do is I also want to glue them the same way that I glued the layer underneath. Sometimes I glue it so that it's offset by just a little bit. So I glue in between the petals, and it gives it in between the petals of the previous layer, it gives it a nice look, but today I'm going to go with gluing it in front of the petal below it. Alright, now that I have all the petals glued, I can add in a center. So I made a separate video, but this is the center that I had planned for this flower. And I just used a fringe cut that was a 1/4 inch width. So the strips are a 1/4 inch wide, these strips. And I will post that video separately because not everybody wants to see the flower making videos, but this is the center that I wanted to create for this flower, and I think it looks great. I really love the way that it looks like a wreath, at least in my eyes, but I accidentally dropped a petal here, so there's a little bit of glue. I'm not sure if that's picked up on the camera or not, but I tend to like the bigger centers where they're sort of spilling out. So if you're making a flower just like this, you can leave off the last layer of petals if you'd like, or you can just make a smaller center. You do not have to make it as large as I did. But again, this is template number 21. Thank you for watching.